Today we're exploring Lukka, Coppercoat, Outcast, and Oathbreaker. What can we do with them and what kind of signature spell would be best for them? And if you want to give a virtual high five to the only YouTuber doing consistent Oathbreaker content, hit that like button. Lukka costs 5 mana and starts at 5 loyalty. +1, exile the top 3 cards of your library. Creature cards exiled this way gain. You may cast this card from exile as long as you control a Lukka Planeswalker. -2, exile target creature you control, then reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a creature card with higher converted mana cost. Put that card onto the battlefield and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. -7, each creature you control deals damage equal to its power to each opponent. So this guy has a pseudo polymorph ability tacked on him, although in red it would be more like transmogrify, or indomitable creativity that is pretty similar too. In fact, if you wanted to double down on this effect, you could use either of these as signature spell, but it's not strictly necessary. As far as Lukka's ability goes, he turns a creature into a higher converted mana cost creature. The way I see it, there are 2 ways to build this deck to optimize for that -3. The first of which is to have only creatures with really high converted mana costs in your deck, stuff that you will flip into with the -3. And a signature spell that makes tokens. I looked at a lot of deck lists in researching for this video, and a lot of people are doing just that. Forbidden Friendship is a popular one, Krenko's Command and Dragon Fodder are other very popular ones. Same thing really, they make 2 1/1s. And when you sacrifice it to Lukka's -3, you're guaranteed to get something awesome. 2 options for signature spell that I think are better that I hardly saw at all. Rally at Hornsburg, create 2 1/1 white human soldier creature tokens. Humans you control gain haste until end of turn. Alright, you're probably not going to attack with these, but you know, the option is there. It's better to have the option than not. It's just strictly better than the other ones. And Satyr's Cunning, which creates 1 1/1 for 1 mana. I feel like the cost reduction is better, but I might be completely wrong on that. It might be worth having 2 in case they remove 1 and you still have 1 to sacrifice. Then we've got some fringe options for token making. Mog Alarm can be cast for free by sacrificing 2 mountains instead of paying its mana cost. It puts 2 1/1s into play. If you're really counting on activating that -2 the turn Lukka comes down, this could be a decent option, but sacrificing 2 mountains is usually a bad idea. Make Mischief and Spawning Breath both deal 1 damage to any target, and that includes an opponent's Planeswalker if you want to, and they make a token to sack to Lukka. Warping Whale can make a token, but it also has the versatility of being able to exile target creature with power or toughness 1 or less, or countering target sorcery spell, which can be especially good in Oathbreaker where everybody's got an instant or sorcery in the command zone. Chances are at least one of your opponents has a sorcery in the command zone anyways. Plus the token it makes can be sacked for mana, which could help you hardcast one of the big creatures in your deck if you absolutely need to. If it was me though, I would pick a signature spell that steals one of your opponent's creatures. Now, there are a ton of 3 mana threaten effects, but my favorite is Kari Zev's Expertise. Gain control of target creature or vehicle until end of turn. Untap it, it gains haste until end of turn. You may cast a card with converted mana cost 2 or less from your hand without paying its mana cost. Claim the Firstborn and Wrangle are also great because they're lower mana cost and easier to recast a second time also. But you can't steal just any creature with it, like a lot of the threaten effects. Now, the downside of this game plan of creating tokens to sacrifice or stealing creatures to sacrifice is that Lukka's plus ability, it doesn't really do anything at all, because all the creatures in our deck are at a really prohibitively high mana cost. The other way we could build the deck is to have a bunch of creatures in the deck that are a certain mana cost. You have to pick 1 low mana cost, say 3 for example, and the rest of the creatures in your deck are the really, really high ones that you want to flip into with Lukka, that you will flip into with Lukka, because when you sacrifice a 3 converted mana cost creature, it can only get one of the high ones. This is exactly how I built the deck when I played it in Brawl, because there are no signature spells in Brawl. And I'll tell you what, I loved the deck. Had the card pool been a lot bigger like it is in Oathbreaker, I think it would have been a lot more powerful. This was standard Brawl back when Lukka was in standard, so yeah, the card pool was way too small. If you enjoyed this video, check out one of these other Planeswalker Ideas videos.